Hi everyone, I hope everyone's doing well, staying healthy. As you can see here, it snowed. It's amazing to be here when it snows in Yerushalayim, in the old city. To see the Kotel covered in snow is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's really amazing. So anyway, let's jump into this week's Parsha. This week's Parsha is Parshat Mishpatim. So a very common misconception about last week's Parsha and this week's Parsha is that the Jews said the words Na'aseh v'nishma, the famous words, we will do and we will listen, we'll hear, in last week's Parsha. But really, they say it in this week's Parsha. So they do say Na'aseh in last week's Parsha. That is correct. But they're saying it in order to accept the offer that Hashem gave to them to make them into Mamlecha Kohanim V'Goy Kadosh, as I spoke about last week. So when they say we'll Na'aseh last week, then they're really just accepting that offer from Hashem. But in this week, they say Na'aseh again, and then they say Na'aseh v'nishma. So let's talk about the difference here. What's the difference? What's the difference between Na'aseh, we will do, and Na'aseh v'nishma, we will do and we will listen? Right? So both times the Jews said Na'aseh. Basically, they're signaling that they themselves will keep Hashem's mitzvot and do everything that Hashem told them to do at Har Sinai. Right? But now they're saying Na'aseh v'nishma. They're adding a different aspect to it. So not only will they do what Hashem is telling them to do at Har Sinai and keep the mitzvot, they're binding themselves and their children, right? Their whole lineage to also keeping the mitzvot, but also to the actual fulfillment of Hashem, right? Hashem's will, and also to accept Hashem as Anochi, Hashem, as the God of the Jewish people, right? So it's tying that theme from Har Sinai to all the Jewish people until today. So that's the difference between Na'aseh and Na'aseh v'nishma. So it's really, the nishma part is tying Hashem to Bnei Yisrael for eternity. As this is how the Rashbam and the Ibn Ezra speak this difference out. So this week I had the great pleasure of meeting the former chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Yisrael Meir Lau, at his home in Tel Aviv, which was really, really, really cool experience. And he explained to us something which is amazing, and it relates to this parsha very, very well. So Rabbi Yisrael Meir Lau was actually the youngest survivor of Buchenwald. He survived the Holocaust. And he explained to us that after the Holocaust, many people had a religious crisis. Right? They left their Judaism. They said, how could the Holocaust happen? We can't believe in Hashem anymore. But he said, for him, being a 38th generation rabbi, right, his experiences only led him closer to Judaism. Now you could say, we were all thinking we were saying this, but why, right? So then he explained why. So the reason why he really stuck to Judaism after the Holocaust is when someone comes up to you today, if someone comes up to you and says, I'm the great grandson of Paro, the king of Egypt, from the time the Jews were in Mitzrayim, they're going to put that guy in a mental ward in some hospital if he's pretending to be the great grandson of Paro, right? But if we look around today, this morning at the Kotel, there were these guys, with their hands like this, Kohanim. They could trace their lineage all the way back to Aaron HaKohen. So it's something that we really have in Judaism, and for Rabbi Yisrael Meir Lau, that showed him that the Na'aseh v'nishma in this week's Parsha carries through to today. It's not that a fairy tale story that, we're going to tie Hashem to our lineage forever. It's really real. It's here today, so many thousands of years later. So putting this all together, right? He explained that when we said Na'aseh v'nishma in this week's Parsha, again, it's not some fairy tale. It's real, and we're internalizing Hashem and His commandments throughout history. So with that, I give everyone a bracha with so much assimilation in today's day and age. It's starting to snow a little bit, frozen rain. With so much assimilation in today's day and age, to be like Rabbi Lau, to be like our ancestors that put us in the position that we are in today, and keep the chain going. Let's keep the Jewish line going, and let's not be the one to disagree with what we agree to, Na'aseh v'nishma, to Hashem and Har Sinai. Let's not be the one that breaks that tradition. Let's not be the one that breaks that chain. So with that, may we speedily see Mashiach come b'mhera b'yameinu quickly. It would be pretty cool to see in the snow as well. And Shabbat Shalom.